Connection Television and Outdoor Connection's first ever Trip of a Lifetime giveaway. In this episode, you're going to see why Gary Morgan is a very deserving recipient.
You know, people talk about life-changing events that happened to them. October 29th, 2005 was definitely that date for me.
Greg and Deborah Ray can walk again 3 weeks after a car crashed into their kitchen.
And just this loud explosion, heard Deborah scream, and then just chaos.
The car smashed through a corner of their house and stopped inside, leaving massive damage. Greg was pinned by the car and Deborah was run over.
I didn't know it at the time, but I was suspended to the undercarriage of the Jeep by some of the debris in the house. It actually ran up my pant leg, up my shirt, had wrapped around the undercarriage of the Jeep and was holding me there by my clothing. At that point was when I first recognized the first person under there, and it was Gary Morgan. And Gary had enough presence of mind to get somebody to get some garden shears and cut me loose. Well, during all this time, whenever she crashed through the house, it ruptured the gas line, the natural gas line to the house. So gas is spewing through the house. The Jeep is running, so there's just a huge potential for an explosion. And Gary, along with all my other neighbors, I mean, I had 5 other neighbors that were here. They got my son out, they got my wife out. He just happened to be the one underneath there with me, holding me up until he could get me cut loose. Well, obviously everything happens for a reason, and I've always been a firm believer in that. And out of all my neighbors and all the guys that helped me, Gary's the guy that is the hunting fanatic. He had been hunting pretty much his whole life, but had always been on public ground. He had never taken any type of animal, let alone a trophy whitetail with his bow. So I knew this was my opportunity through the business that I was in with Outdoor Connection to offer him something very special and show him my gratitude for what he had done for me and my family. We came up with this idea to surprise Gary with his trip of a lifetime. We wanted to play a little joke on him, have a little bit of fun with it, and offer him something just truly special. So we set it up. I had my buddies Calvin Taylor and Paul act like they were just out, you know, doing some surveys and asking different people questions.
What is your name?
Kella.
Kella. Kella. I'm Calvin.
Hi, Calvin.
Nice to meet you. He's not sure he wanted to stop. What's going on? How you doing? Good. My name's Calvin Taylor. You're Gary Morgan? Now, it's not Price Patrol. You hadn't won $1 million or nothing, so I didn't want to. We just got a real quick question here. We understand, visited your wife a minute, that you enjoy hunting. We've got a few simple questions we'd just like to ask you and get. You are an avid outdoorsman?
Absolutely.
Okay. What do you prefer to hunt? What's your favorite species to hunt?
Whitetail bucks.
Whitetail bucks. All right. Okay. That's pretty much most of the questions I've got, Gary. What I'd like to do is just read a consent form here, read to you what it says, and then get your signature, if you don't mind. It says that you've answered each of these questions to the best of your ability, and that you give us the permission to use your voice and face for further promotions for hunting or fishing in Oklahoma. It says that you accept this invitation to go on an all-expense paid trip to hunt trophy whitetails in Pike County, Illinois, with Twin Hollow Outfitters and Outdoor Connection. Would you accept something like that?
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Do you know who Outdoor Connection is? Have you ever heard of Outdoor Connection?
Greg.
Greg.
All right. Yeah. When are we going?
You're going this fall.
So I pull up in the yard thinking, okay, what's going on? I'm going to have to get rid of this guy. And little did I know, it was going to be something very good.
Yeah, baby.
And when we come back, this trip of a lifetime, well, it actually turns into the opportunity of a lifetime.